Hello everyone, my name is Hemu and today's we are going to discuss OSPF routing protocol configuration in your Palo Alto Firewall. So guys, this is a continuation lecture. In first lecture, you have seen how to configure RIP routing protocol in your Palo Alto Firewall. Today we are going to see how we can configure OSPF routing protocol in your Palo Alto Firewall. And for this particular lab, I am to use this particular topology where I have my outside router R1 where I'm using 151.0.0/24 series, and this particular area I will keep on OSPF area 3, and I will create few loopback IP address or loopback interfaces on my outside router, and where I will configure 151.0 series, 151.1.0/24 series till 151.7.0/24 series, right? So I will create around 7 loopback interface here. I will create a 7 loopback interface here. I will create around 6 loopback interface here. This is my inside area. This is my DMZ1 area. This is my DMZ2 area. And I'm going to use OSPF area 0 on my inside, OSPF area 1 on my DMZ1, and OSPF area 2 on my DMZ2. So these are the things which I'm going to do. So now guys, let me just start your lab configuration. I'll go here and I'll just take the access of my routers inside R2, inside R3, inside R4, inside R5, and your Palo Alto Firewall. Let me just increase the size of your Palo Alto device. And I'll just start my configuration from the Palo Alto Firewall. In this device, you can see it just got the IP address from DHCP automatically. And what I will going to do all the configuration, username is admin and password is also admin. Old password is admin and new password is admin at 123. Admin at 123. I'll got the access. Now I'll go into the config mode. I run this command set device config system IP-address, or what I can do, let me just take the because I got the IP address from DHCP. So what I'll just directly take the SHS of my firewall, and here we are going to run all the commands. Okay. I will just take the SHS access of my 192.168.137.11 because this is the IP address which I got on my device here. Right. Let's wait here because here you will get some coloring and other things. So that's why. And guys, I will try to configure everything today on my Palo Alto Firewall with the help of CLI. What I will take the help of CLI. So I'll go into the config mode. The very first command which I will run on my Palo Alto Firewall is set device config system hostname. Hostname is Palo Alto Firewall 01. Now set device config system domain name, system domain, and just configure domain name which is lab.local. And configure the time zone. Asia, Kolkata. This is the time zone I'm going to configure. Now, Now I will just configure the IP address on my Palo Alto Firewall in the management interface. So I will type set device config system type static because I want to configure the static IP address. So now set device config system IP hyphen address 192.168.137.10 netmask 255.255.255.0 and default gateway 192.168.137.2. Now set device config system DNS settings servers details primary 8.8.8.8 secondary 4.2.2.2. Now set device config system NTP servers. Primary NTP server is your NTP server address. So I will just configure 0.n.ntp.org.in. I will configure the NTP server which is in India, the public NTP server from India. Public NTP server IP India. This is the 0.n.pool.ntp.org, right? So 0.n.pool, 0.n.pool.ntp.org. Now set device config system NTP servers secondary NTP server address, and for that I will just copy this address, the second one. Now this is the few thing which we wanted to configure, and after that we will do the commit. And guys, this time you will observe your commit will stuck at 99%. Why it will stuck? Because we have just changed the IP address, right? We have just configured 192.168.137.10, right? So because this is the IP address which we have configured, so now I can also able to access the firewall by that IP address. Meanwhile, I'll open my command prompt and I'll just initiate a continuous ping to 192.168.137.10 minus T. Let's wait here for this particular process to complete. 55%. Go down. These are the CLI script which you need to run if you want this particular configuration. You can see ping has started working. It has stuck around 98%, right? And if you will go here now, if you will open, you can able to access firewall through the web browser. Wait here, go here, close this, and now just take the SSH access on this IP address. It's just like we are taking from putty because I have already saved these details, these IP address here, so that's why. Increase the size, login, admin at 123, login here. Here also you will get in some time. Now, because I have configured complete the management interface configuration, now I will start the configuration on my outside interface, inside interface, and DMZ1 and 2 interfaces. You can see I've got the access. Now, the very first command which you need to do, you can just run this command set CLI config. Output format is set configure. Now, if you run this command, so network virtual router, you will see there is a one default virtual router available. See this one, so you have to delete this default virtual router. You can run this command delete network virtual router default one. Just delete this default virtual router. Now what we will do, we will create a new virtual router. I will run this command set network virtual router VR0. I will create this virtual router VR0. Now, if you will go here, because you know same thing I will also show you here as well. So you will get the idea here both how you can do it with the help of GUI and with the help of CL. Now you can see virtual router is reflecting. I do have these interfaces. Right now you can see I have around 24 interfaces, right? So what I will do now, I'll go and just start configuring these interfaces. So the very first command which I will run this command set network interface Ethernet 1 by 1. Now you have to basically define type is layer 3, press the question mark. You will get these some other details as well here, right? Layer 3, now you can define what you want. You can define ARP details, IP details, LLDP details, what you want, right? So you will get everything here. But what I will just go here and I'll just run this command NDP proxy enabled no, enter. This is the one first command which you need to run. Now I will run this command set network interface Ethernet 1 by 3. I will give the comment. This is my outside interface. So I have added the comment here. Now set network interface Ethernet 1 by 1. Now what I will do now, I will just configure the IP address. Layer 3. Here you will get this IP. Just type your IP address and configure the IP, which is 151.0.25.250/24. Now you can see here, you will able to see some details here now. Comment has been added, IP address is available, right? You can see. Now we have to call the virtual router. We have to define the security zone. IP address has been configured. Now here, if you remember, we need to make this interface up, and we also need to configure the interface management profile. So what I will do now, I will just set network profiles. Now you will get here interface management profile. I'll give the name this ping and ping service. Yes. This is the profile I need to create. Now, if you will go here into your profile section here, you can see interface management profile has been created. Go back here, go into this interface. Now what I want, I will just make this interface in up state and I will just configure the interface management profile. For that, you have to run this command set network interface Ethernet 1 by 1. Press the question mark. Link state. What I want to make this interface up. Now same here, run the same command. Now you can just select here layer 3. Press the question mark. Now here you will get all the option. Interface management profile. What is the profile name? Profile name is ping. You can go here. If you will cancel this, if you go again here, you will able to see these details now reflecting, right? Config is very easy. Now what we have to define the virtual router and we have to define the security zone, right? So now you can go here and run this command. Set. You can go here. You can press the question mark. IP address is there, right? Interface management profile is there. But we are not getting anything with regards to zone and with regards to the virtual router. So what you have to run this command, set network virtual router VR0 interface, and you have to define your interface name, which is Ethernet 1x1. Set network, set zone, zone name is outside, and now you can define network is layer 3 Ethernet 1x1. Now if you go here, now you can see I have everything here, right? IP address, all the details, right? And that's how, guys, we have to configure the interface with the help of CLI. But you know, CLI is bit complex actually, right? Because you have to run multiple commands, right? What you have to do, you have to run this, you have to run multiple commands. If I'll go here, if I write down all the commands, let me go on top. So this is the first command, right? Which you need to run. Then this is the second command which you need to run. Then this is the third command which you need to run. Then this is the fourth one, which is like this command we used to run to just create an interface management profile. Then this is the one command, and this is the next one, right? Like that we have to run multiple commands actually. So sometimes this process become bit complex. Okay, now let me just go ahead and just configure my another interface. I run this command, set interface, set network interface Ethernet 1x2, and 1x2 is my inside interface, right? So now let's go do the configuration. Type here, run this link state up, press the question mark, comment is inside, press the question mark. We've configured the comment, we have configured the link state. Now we will go here and we will configure layer 3. In layer 3, you will get all these options. So what? The first thing which I will configure the interface management profile, which is ping. Press the question mark. Now you have to configure the IP address 10.1.0.250/24. Press the question mark. We did interface management configuration. We did the IP configuration, right? We don't need to do anything here. Now we will run this command, set network virtual router VR0 interface Ethernet 1x2. Now set zone inside, type network layer 3 interface Ethernet 1x2. And this is how I have configured my next interface. Refresh, you will be able to see. See all the details. Now let's do the interface configuration for this one with the help of graphical. DMZ01, type is layer 3, virtual router, VR0, security zone, DMZ1, IP4, 10.2.0.250/24. Make this interface up, configure and interface management profile, click on OK. Now go ahead and just configure Ethernet 1x4 with the help of CLI as well. So set network interface Ethernet 1x4, comment DMZ2, then your link state up, layer 3. Even though if you want, you can run in this way as well, like ping, then IP address, configure the IP address, like everything just in single line. 10.3.0.250/24. Press the question mark. You don't have anything else. Go ahead. Set zone DMZ2 network layer 3 Ethernet 1x4. Set network virtual router VR0 interface Ethernet 1x4. Now you can see here, refresh it. We did the correct configuration here as well, right? We have everything. Right, so that's how you have to do the interface configuration. Once you will complete that configuration, go ahead and just do the commit. And meanwhile, commit is going on. Now I will start the configuration of my routers. No. So guys, here I will use my template, which I have created in our RIP lab. Like here I will configure the host name details, then IP address on the interface, then loopback interfaces. And after that, I will just configure the telnet, SHS details, right? So I will use the same configuration, right? Copy, enable conft and just paste. Because we have just already, we have created our template, right? So I'm going to use template. Why? I will just do the configuration every time on all these routers, right? Then inside R2, I'll just copy from here till here. Copy and go ahead, put into your inside R2 router. Mean by run no on all the devices. So at least I will directly go the get the login screen for all of them. Enable conft. I did the config on my R2 router. Then I'll have my R3 router. I'll just copy till here. I'll go inside R3 router, enable conft and just paste. Just a IP configuration and telnet configuration, SSS configuration, guys. Then I'll go here and I'll just copy the R4 router configuration. Copy. enable conft paste. Now I'll just go here and I'll just configure the R5 router. This is just a IP config, normal IP configuration and your telnet and other things. Okay, now I'll go here. I'll go into my topology. Let me go into this inside R2 router and I'll just try to ping to my Palo Alto Firewall, ping to 150.1.0.250. Ping is working, means I have a connectivity. I'll go here on inside R2, ping to 10.1.0.250. Ping is working and I will ping the other end IP address 10.1.1.2 IP address of inside R3. Ping is working. Then I'll go on my R4 router and I'll just do the ping to firewall 10.2.0.250. Ping is working. Now I will go on R5, ping to 10.3.0.250. Ping is working, which means I have the connectivity. And if I'll go here this time, if I'll exit out, if I run this command show routing route, you can see I have the static route. So routing fib, this is my fib table. Now guys, let's do the configuration with regards to the OSPF, how to configure the OSPF. So now let's do the OSPF configuration. So what I will start the OSPF configuration from my outside R1 router. I'll go here. I run this called router OSPF 10. Define the router ID, which is this is R1. So I'll go here and I'll just configure 1.1.1. Once you will configure this, now what you have to do now, you can go ahead, just type in network 151.0.0. Now wildcard mask 0.0.0.255 and define the area, which is 3. Now we have 151.0, or what I can do, I can also use this one 151.0.0.0.0, not 0 here, 248, which means I can go here 7, then 255, area 3 means what I will do, I will use the wildcard mask in this series. This is the one. And this will include all these IPs. And conft router OSPF 10 do so run section OSPF. So guys, if I go here, I can also remove this part actually. This is not needed. And this part is also not needed, because this subnet will take care of everything. Okay. Do so run section OSPF, you can see. One more thing you need to do, interface range Or before that, you can run this command, do so IP interface brief. Your loopback will start from 1 to 7. Interface range loopback 1 to 7. Why it is not taking this command? Question mark 1 7. I have till 7, right? Now here I will run this command IP OSPF 10 area 3. I can also enable the OSPF directly from there. IP OSPF. There's the question mark. You have some other commands as well, right? You can define network and you can define the type of this network. Point to multi-point, non-broadcast or broadcast, right? So I will go here. I will define a point-to-point network. And write memory. Now go into your R2 and just do the configuration for OSPF and R2. Router OSPF 10 network 10.1.0.0.0.0.255 area 0, because here I am going to use area 0. Exit. If you want, you can enable the OSPF directly from the interfaces as well, not needed, but you can also try that actually if you want. IP OSPF 10 area 0. Do right, ma'am. Now go into R3. Router OSPF 10 router ID 3.0.3.3. And guys, I forget to mention the router ID here. Router OSPF 10 router ID is 2.2.2.2. Now we have these networks. You can use the same thing, network 10.1.0.0, then 0.0.7.255 and area 0. This will take care everything. If you want, you can enable directly from the interfaces like loopback 1 till 7, IP OSPF 10 area 0, IP OSPF network point to point. Do right, ma'am. Now if I'll go on this R2 router here, so IP OSPF neighbor, we have the neighbor, so IP route OSPF. We have these routes from OSPF. So IP route, you can run this command as well, you will get everything. Now go to into DMZR4 conft router OSPF 10 router ID 4.4.4.4 network 10.2.0.0.0.7.255 and area is 1. Exit. Interface range loopback 1 to 7. IP OSPF network point to point. I'm just changing that network type point to point. Otherwise, all these particular routes, which is from the loopback interface, they go as a /32. I'll go ahead and I'll do the same thing here as well. Router OSPF 10, router ID 5.5.5.5, network 10.3.0.0.0.7.255, area, we have a area 2. Now I'll go here, interface range, loopback 127, IP OSPF network point to point. Do right, ma'am. This is the OSPF configuration which we need to do in your routers. Now I'll go ahead and I'll just configure the routing on my Palo Alto Firewall. So I'll go here into my Palo Alto, just refresh here. You will to see your interface is in up state. So you can directly jump into the, first go to into your policies. Just configure one policy which will allow all the traffic. Allow all. So we can test some connectivity basically. Now go ahead. And now you can go to into network tab, virtual router tab. Virtual router 1. Go here. OSPF, you have to select this OSPF. You have to enable the OSPF. Router ID, you can configure router ID like 250.250, or you can go in this way like 1.1.1.250, because I have 250 IP address, right? So I can configure this as a router ID. Right now here you have to define the area. If you want to convey any authentication, you can define authentication profile, export routes. In advance you will get all these settings, right? So now you have to go into this area, click on area. Now define area. I'll go into my topology. So now we have 3 right here, area 3. So you can go ahead, configure 0.0.0.3. Type is normal. Here you can define range, you can define interfaces. What I will recommend, I will define, I would like to, what you can do, you can just go ahead and define the interface here. Ethernet 1x1. All these settings you can leave default. Broadcast type is, you can go with broadcast here. Now what we will do, now we go ahead and we will add another interface. This is area 3. Click on OK. Now we have area 3, we have this interface. Now apart from that, what we have a area 1 as well. Or let me go into topology now. Let me just add area 0. So for area 0, you have to go with 0.0.0.0 interface is your Ethernet 1x2. Leave all these settings default. Click on OK. Click on OK. Go ahead and add another area like 0.0.0.1, which is OSPF area here, which interface Ethernet 1x3. Interface is Ethernet 1x3. Now we have area 2 as well, 0.0.0.2. interface 1/4. So now this is the final thing which you need to see. We have your areas and we have your interfaces. Click on OK. Go ahead and just do the commit. And we will wait for the this commit to complete. If you want, you can also able to enable the debugging like debug, routing. You have all of them, right? What you want? You want to enable the debugging at the global level on. You can enable at the debug level. Tail follow yes, mp log, route d.log. This is the daemon where you can able to see all the details. So once commit will complete, you will see adjacency for OSPF will come up. Commit is 98%. You can see OSPF is start coming up. Here you can able to see all the logs. This is the best protocol, best daemon to see the debugging of your routing related things. Now you can go into more runtime stat, OSPF, you can able to see all the details. We have these are the areas, right? Accept summary is on. You can get all the details here. LSA type, everything. These are your interfaces details. Here you will get the neighbor details. These are the neighbors, right? This is your outside router. This is your inside router. Then these are your DMZ1 and DMZ2 routers. These are the router IDs. We don't have virtual router link. We don't have virtual routers. In summary, I'm not getting anything for now. This is the routing details, right? This is the forwarding table detail, FIP table details. Now in summary, you can see this is the router ID. These are the timers, right? You will get everything. I'll go here. I'll just run this control C. At the info level, now I run this command. So routing route. The first command now you can see I have all the routes. And I'm receiving these routes from OSPF. O means OSPF, you can see. OI means OSPF inter area, means these are the inter area routes. Sorry, OSPF intra area, OI. Now, so routing FIP, this is the forwarding information base. We have all the subnets here. So routing protocol, and you can see OSP what you want to check in OSPF. You have area detail, you can run this command. Virtual router VR D0, you will get area details here. Area ID 0. Then we have area ID 1. These are the LSA count and other details. Accept summary is yes. Shortest path first algorithm calculation is 4. Right? So you will get all that detail. Now, if you want to see the summary, you can run this command, you will get the summary. This is the router ID, this is the virtual router, area border router, yes. AS border router is yes, ASBR router, right? These are the LSA count, these are the interface with area IDs. Neighbor, here you will get the neighbor details. who is your neighbor, right? This is one of the neighbor router. Router ID is this. This is the router ID of your inside R2 router. Then we have a neighbor which is 10.2.0.1. This is your DMZ1 router. This is the router ID. You will get all the details. Now, neighbor, we have a interfaces. So you will get the interface details with timers and other things. Press the question mark. You can dump the LSA information as well. And here you will able to see all the LSA related information. All your LSA details are available here. Type 3 LSA, like everything you are able to see. So these are the some commands, guys, which we generally also check. If you will go here in summary also, you can able to see lots of details. In neighbors, you can able to see what is the status of your OSPF neighbors, everything. So guys, these are the some commands which we generally also uses in your OSPF. Now go here and just initiate some ping request just to check the connectivity. So I'll go here in this router. Let me increase the size. First, I will check the routing. So IP route. Can able to see I have all the routes. See, I have all the routes. I can do the ping to 10.1.3.1. Ping is working. 10.2.3.1. Ping is working. Then 10.4.3.1. 10.4.3.1 is not working because this one I'm not using anywhere, right? 4 series. 10.1 series, 10.2 series, 10.3 series, right? And I'm able to ping both of these series. Here I have to ping 10.3.3.1 series. Right now you can see ping is working, means that's how basically we have to do all the things. And now you can see I have everything, right? I can do the telnet as well. 10.1.7.1 Cisco telnet is working, right? And you can check on your device, show session all, telnet is here, right? So guys, that's the how you have to do the OSPF configuration in your Palo Alto firewall.